Hi and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Rachel Tonner. I am marketing manager at Klevu and kind of an overall UX obsessive. I'm so happy to have Nick Branco here with us today, e-commerce consultant at global agency for B2B and B2C brands, Vaimo. So Nick, you have such great ideas about how retailers can get the most out of their website. But I asked you to come on here today to show and tell how you use Klevu and other tools for CRO, how retailers can do CRO, and how they can do it regularly. Can you give us a quick intro about yourself?
Yes, great. Hi, Rachel. Yeah, very excited for this session. I am, as you say, an e-commerce consultant at Vaimo. I'm based in London in the United Kingdom. I've been with Vaimo for close to 6 years now. I've been a consultant here for 4 of those years. Really been the past decade, very passionate about conversion rate optimization, digital marketing, and really e-commerce growth. And so that is my background.
That's great. So you having that background, what is kind of CRO for the novice? Can you explain that?
Yeah, I could definitely maybe take a step back in terms of the high level CRO. So CRO means conversion rate optimization. And really it's about, if you look at the flow of a customer to your site, there's traffic coming in, so acquisition, people coming in, then they are finding products, deciding to buy, and eventually purchasing it, and then there's the journey afterwards. So conversion rate optimization is an important step from changing a visitor into a customer, i.e. someone buying your product or service. So conversion rate optimization is study and the tactics to improve that rate of visitors coming in and why customers are converting them. So that's the general, in theory, high level. If we take it to another step from an e-commerce point of view, there's many aspects to conversion rate optimization. Sometimes we use the term customer experience optimization, which in essence, that's what it's about. It's about great customer experience, about I can find my product quickly, pricing and the product is good, the checkout's quick, the site is quick as well. So again, that is more from a digital marketing and e-commerce conversion rate optimization. If we take it another level down in terms of why we're here today about Klevu on-site search, well, Klevu on-site search is a great tool for that. So people who buy search. So there's a high percentage of people who search on the site. So we have the power now to use tactics on site search to actually optimize that conversion rate. So again, same premise, make it easier for the customer to find the product, make it easier to go through the journey to find the right product and to eventually check out. So that is conversion rate in general. It's about that converting from visitors to customers, and we could take it to different steps. And really today is about really hands-on. I really want to be hands-on, something you can watch us and go back to your store immediately and start actioning it, because this is what we've done in the past with great success.
And you mentioned about actioning it, I'm guessing regularly. What results have you seen your clients generate from doing CRO and practicing CRO regularly?
Yeah, we've seen two great results. The first one being just visibility thereof. A common statement that we get from our clients is when we start the discussion of Klevu CRO is that we love Klevu. It is working because we test it, but we know there's more. We know we can do more. There's something missing that we're not doing, and it's definitely a tool. When you log into KMC, you can see all the tools there, and there's that gap there, which we come in and we kind of either we upskill or we do it ourselves as part of the consultants. But that is the kind of the first step, just the awareness of what we can do more, what are the KPIs are, etc. Then the second kind of success we've seen, and second story we've seen is now that we're monitoring and we're looking at the right things, we've seen some great growth where it's no more, it's on-site search, it's kind of there, it's working, let's not touch it. It's more of course we need to tweak it. It's another tool in our tool of tactics to increase customer experience and CRO. And we've seen great growth from not doing anything to actually implementing CRO and doing it often. I think that's, as you said, an important part, that continuous optimization. And something I'll get to later is really using as one of the toolkits. It's not a once set and forget. It's a great tool as well for your campaigns, whatever your special promotional campaigns are. Clearly, on-site search is one of those tools that you can use.
Cool. Well, I'm really excited to hear what you have to say today. Let's dive right in. You've got some actionable tips lined up for us. So how can we go about doing conversion rate optimization with Klevu with confidence? Over to you.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks so much. So I've got 4 main groupings of tactics, and they kind of diverge into different ways, tactics within a tactic as well. But to keep it simple, and maybe just start off, because I'm going to go into this quite often, is the tools we have. So what is the tools in our toolbox to actually do this? So I'm going to give a quick overview of the 2 tools, which is the Klevu Merchant Center, which is KMC for short, and the other one is Google Analytics, which you may or not be familiar with. So what I'm going to do is share my screen quickly. So KMC is the tool, one of the major tools we're going to use. I'm not going to go into detail now, that's part of the tactics, but I want to give you familiar of, again, if you've never seen it before, but some of the touch points that we will go through today. Now, the first one is actually the very first page, which is our dashboard, our analytics. This is where we kind of start. So as I mentioned, the definition of CRO, one of the tactics CRO, is you need to analyze, see what the current state is, and then implement and then measure again. So KMC, the reports analytics, super important. There's all our various reports. There are particular ones which I'm going to use in Tactic 1, but just want to show you again how to get in here and which ones to use. So dashboard, very important. The next one is actually, once we do the analysis, actually making those changes, making those optimizations. And that is under, there's various ones. So under customizations, we will stick to promotions, synonyms, and your redirects. Again, just going to pop in there quickly, give you a feel for it. So promotions, there's various levels of promotions. In Klevu world, this is about boosting. So some products are more popular than other ones, depending on how you define what popular is. So here's all the tools for that, which I'll go in detail just now. Synonyms, that's again another powerful term. And then URL redirects, not that widely used, and I want to challenge that where we can use it a bit more. And this is where synonyms and promotions were more kind of boosting and kind of seamless in the search results. URL redirects was more kind of direct, where you search for a term and you get directed to the page. Super powerful in terms of if you want to take a user on a particular journey when they search for a term. This is super powerful, and I see us using that more. Then the next one, the tool is to jump into Google Analytics. We all digital marketers, or we merchants, retailers, we in the digital space, so we're more than familiar with Google Analytics. How in depth you go depends on your role and your appetite and the time you have. But again, one of those key tools that we have for Klevu CRO. Now, you probably look at me and Nick, what are you talking about? Because Google Analytics is about, outside the website. It doesn't do on-site search. That's a common misconception, where Google Analytics does do on-site search tracking. It even does the quick search. When we kind of set up Klevu, we make sure that part is done. Klevu has documented quite well in terms of how to implement that. So once it's implemented, what you'll go through is behavior, site search, and then there's a whole wealth of knowledge here. Now, yes, most of the information will be in KMC, but the popular, why is very powerful from this point of view is now that you can see kind of extended analytics. So yes, these people have searched these terms on the site. One of the KPIs is people have searched versus they haven't searched. But now we can take it to a different level. We can actually cross-check between, all right, people who have searched, who haven't searched, what is their revenue? How many orders that they bring through? The other way around, from an acquisition point of source, is of the people who searched, where do they come from? Which channels they come from? So GA just gives you that whole other angle on site search, and it's super powerful. So great tool for insights. We're going to and great form of KPIs as well. So that's definitely one source of information. Another source of information is just general GA of understanding the customer a bit more. What are they searching on Google, and what's successful and what's not, which is also available in GA, which we will use as well in our tactics as well, just to get that information and then kind of tweak our on-site search for that. So those are the two tools. I'm going to jump into them as we go. So zero results, firstly, where you find it, it is on the Klevu dashboard, and there is a reporter called Keywords for Zero Results. So what is this saying? This saying is that people have searched for these terms and they got zero results. Now you can imagine from a customer experience point of view, that's just terrible. We want to make sure that, again, back to the theoretical, the theory of CRO is find the right product at the right price quickly. So we already hit the first hurdle where people are searching for a term and they are getting zero results. Now there's many reasons for that, but this is a good source of information. So let me jump into that. So what are some common reasons for I search for something on the site, I get zero results? Now the first one is let's say the first one that doesn't appear yet, and that is I wouldn't call it misspellings, but it's like plurals, some localization of words, for example, using an S rather than Z. Now Klevu and the AI engine kind of takes care of that. So that's great news. So that doesn't really come into here. Then the other example is just gross misspellings. If you're unfortunate, if you don't have a firewall or a strong firewall in place, there's bots entering fake information. Your internal salespeople might be entering some random information only they know. So there are some either gross misspellings, a cat walked across the keyboard. There's many examples. So you can't really do much about that. It is what it is. Maybe ask your salesperson, your cat, not to do those terms. Good luck with that. So let's get into the action steps of what we can actually do. Now, a common one, let's get to the next one. So the third one then is, a good example where it's a different term that we normally use. And the classic example I use, and I think Klevu is using documentation as well, is, for example, flip-flops or sandals, or if in the States they're called thongs. Now, these are different words for our favorite shoe that we wear to the beach, isn't it? But wherever you are in the country, or maybe however you sell, maybe you sell a particular brand and you're forced to use a certain term. If someone is searching on the site, for example, sandals, but you specifically on your site called flip-flops, what's going to happen is that they're going to get zero results. But you do sell sandals, you sell the product that they are selling. So that is our first tactic, is to try and understand whether people search for a certain term, what are they actually looking for, and B, how can we help them? So in the thongs, sandals, and flip-flops example, we do sell the product, but it's just a different term. So that different type of term we can solve in two ways. Now, the first way, maybe an easier way, is using synonyms. So we say, all right, let me jump into that before I carry on. We say, if you search for sandals, what you actually mean is you're searching for flip-flops and thongs. So in our example here, we'll say, okay, people are searching for sandals, and the corresponding synonyms are flip-flops. And the great thing about this, you need, there's different spellings of flip-flops if you want to be so brave, and thongs as well. Great, that's great. So the next time the person comes in and searches for sandals, what's going to happen is that Klevu is going to know, oh, all right, actually they're searching for flip-flops and thongs. So in the search bar, they're going to bring up those shoes as well. It's still going to say the name, flip-flops and thongs, but now the customer is a bit more comfortable. A, they're getting some results, and B, they're saying, oh, this is great. This is exactly what I meant. They don't really care what term you're using. It's the shoes they want. So that's one strategy, one tactic in terms of using synonyms. Another possible one is, for example, if we go back, another example is that perhaps we use branded names. So for example, another good example is perhaps people use the word iPad, and because of a special license for it, we don't sell iPads, but we sell quite well branded tablets, you know, from the other kind of other brands out there. So now you have it's a brand name, and again, kind of with the flip-flops example, we don't sell iPads specifically, but we do sell tablets. We can sell Samsungs and Hawaiis and all that kind of for this kind of tablets. So again, now when people search for iPads, they are getting 0 results, where, maybe that's fair because they're looking for iPads, but because iPad is such a prevalent term, they could just be looking for the tablet. People call tablets iPads and vice versa. So what we can do is help them. If we do stock non-iPads and other tablets, we can then do the same tactic. Now we can either use the synonym tactic and using iPads, and then you say tablets, kind of portable PCs, etc. Or maybe a more popular one is, depending on your range, is what I like to use is your redirects. So because iPads can mean so many things, if we are assuming the customer is looking for a larger range of products, a better tactic is when people search for iPads, you can then direct them to your category of tablets or portable PCs, portable computing. And then there's a nice landing page which has tablets, one of those, 2 for 1, etc., etc. So that's another great example of using the KMC to kind of direct the customer journey. So that is the quick steps you can do. So just to recap, gross misspellings, can't really do much with that. Simple, not misspellings, but little changes like plurals and hyphenations. Klevu takes care of that. You want to see in the report. And the big one is, I have this product, but it's called differently. So either it's a totally different name, or the kind of popular name or popular brand is different. So that's 2 tactics you can do. You can do synonyms or redirects. Great. That's a great one. So you come in here, and that can be a KPI. You filter by month or by quarter, and really you want to see this as blank as possible. You want to see this number as blank as possible. And you know what? It's great form of feedback in terms of, people are searching for something and they're not finding it. They're calling it different terms. It could change your digital marketing in a different angle as well. Another good example, the last example is, for example, if let's say you don't sell the product at all, then you have some options. Now you could cross-sell or upsell to a different type of product. So this is not the iPad and tablet. This is more of a, people are looking for, let's say, shampoo, but you only sell body wash, for example. You can try and redirect them maybe to a health category, but also some good insights to take it back to your merchants in terms of, listen, people come to the site, they're expecting these products and not getting it. So powerful tool. It looks very inconspicuous, keywords, 0 results, but it's absolutely powerful. And you can see it's quite quick to action, and just keep on monitoring and action it. As a retailer, you have your popular products or your bestseller products. Now, it can be just purely, this is the most popular product, we're selling the most, therefore these are bestsellers. Or it could be maybe more of a time base where people come to your site and they're more often than not to buy products on promotion, etc. So where I'm going with this is that everyone has their own definition of bestsellers. It could be just a type of product. It could be a particular SKU. It could be just a type of product like a promotional kind of category, but there is a definition that you call bestsellers. So whatever that definition is, the idea is that, we want to make that products that are bestsellers kind of appear more often to your customers than not. So kind of getting a better fighting chance to get in front of the customer, which again, back to the theory of CRO, a definition of CRO, it's about getting the right product to the right customer as easy as possible. So again, we have the power and tools for that. So firstly, we need the bestsellers list. However you want to do that, either you have the list already, maybe you can ask, depending on the size of your team, you can ask the merchant or brand managers to get those top selling products. Or if you're really stuck and you just want to get cracking, again, remember the GA, Google Analytics, you can get the most popular products. You can start using that. You can go to your e-commerce solution of choice and get a bestsellers for the quarter, and you can start using that. No hard and fast rules. You can just use the data you have ready. Or if you're stuck, you want to get cracking, go into any tool and start doing this exercise. Great. So we have our list of products. It'll be per SKU and whatever the type of products are. Now we have some options, and now I'm going to go into the promotions tab. So let's say you have a very either small catalog or very niche catalog. So let's say you're selling vacuums, very popular vacuums. There's about 20 products in the range. It is what it is, but there's really one or two that are really high selling, very popular. Maybe there's a specific marketing campaign for the quarter that you want to promote them. But the idea is that, there's about 2 out of 20 products that are more popular than the rest. So a good tactic is, again, nice and simple. You can just go into product level boosting. So product level boosting will then allow you to just search by product, search by name or by SKU, and then you can get, once you find it, you can do a manual boosting. Now, top tip on boosting, a good tactic, which I learned from the team of Klevu, is that you want to keep it to low numbers. So it's very, even though they say there's 1,000, there's from 0 to 999, doesn't mean you make everything 900. The trick here is to keep the numbers low, because you can see already the self-learning score and even the base score is only 1. So really you look at single digit increases, or worst case, double digit, like a 10, 15, 20 max. Of course, depending on the products and how far you want to reach it, you can choose a number, but try and avoid the initial kind of gut feel of just ranking it up to 500. You'll get better results with lower numbers. So that's a top tip there. So small catalog, 1 or 2 SKUs, just use product level boosting. You're good to go. And then what will happen? The keyword is boost. So higher numbers appear more on top. So Klevu will then take all the other factors, for example, content on the product, all the attributes you got for indexing. It will take kind of personalization. It will take the AI, and then the cherry on top is this manual boosting score, which again will just boost it a bit more higher. So again, when the person searches for either vacuum or type of vacuum, or maybe a use of vacuum, these 2 products you've chosen as your niche, as your top sellers, will float on top. Great. Customer has a better chance of seeing the bestseller. We know that it's bestsellers for a reason. Therefore, quicker search, quicker conversion, quicker sale, happier customer. That's the premise for the entire thing we're going to do right now. Small catalog. Let's talk about more of a larger catalog. So let's say you have a large team. Let's say you have 20 categories. Each category has a brand manager, and they've got 20 bestsellers for per category. Now, if you're brave, you can do it per SKU, but that's not really manageable, is it? So you want to use some other type of merchandising, let's say rule-based merchandising. Now, rule-based merchandising is great in terms of it is what it says. It says if attribute equals something, apply a boosting score. So in our world, if you have some bestsellers, the best place is to, in your e-commerce system, there's some form of attribute, some form of identifier. Maybe there's a badge that it says top sellers, or maybe it's an internal attribute. But that for large catalogs, I suggest finding these common attributes so you can do this rule-based merchandising, which is great because it's very dynamic. You don't have to keep on going into Klevu to change it. You can rather change it into your e-commerce system or your ERP and change what a bestseller is, and then you set up a rule in Klevu and you're good to go. And then you don't have to manage it too well. So really encourage the use of rule-based merchandising. Let's go to more specific examples of rule-based merchandising. Now, remember I mentioned that maybe top sellers is, for example, products that are on promotion. So that is a good case for rule-based merchandising, because then our rule bend as a retailer, we can say, you know what, our top sellers we have a promotion every week. These are great promotions, great discounts off. We know those are top sellers. We want to get them to the customer as soon as possible because we know they sell well. And 9 times out of 10, that's why the customer comes to our store. Therefore, we want to boost these kind of products on top. So rule-based merchandising is very powerful for that. And there's a good chance you already have something in your e-commerce system which identifies something on promo. So the idea is that a rule-based merchandising is if a product is on promotion, then boost it by 10 or 20. So it's great. You set it up once and then it just applies automatically, because as you change your promotions, Klevu will then react to that because it's based on if that flag on promotion is on or off. So very powerful use of rule-based merchandising for those types of promos. Let's keep the story going. So going more in terms of kind of top sellers and optimizations. The next one on the list here, the third one, is keyword level visual merchandising. So this is really like kind of laser focused merchandising and optimizing the products here. And the idea here is that it's not a general boosting the score, but actually it is boosting, but it's based on the keyword you use. So let's, for example, use a Lego example. So if you're a toy store and you're selling Lego products, there's a large range of Lego products. But again, there are few top sellers that we know are selling, or whatever reason, maybe you want to get rid of old stock. Whatever your reasons to boost the score, that's fine. But the idea is that people are searching for a term, and there's certain products that you want to promote on top of that. So how we do that is that we add a type of keyword level merchandising. So what we do is we add a rule, we enter the term or terms that people use. Now, if you're searching for Lego, like I often do, you got to enter Lego. And then we visually add the products in there. So let's go to the rule. So the idea is that then you search for Lego here. So these are the keyword that people are using. And then the visual part is that you can drag and drop. Drag and drop the list, but also prioritize it as well from top to bottom. So you can see the laser focus here in terms of merchandising. It's super powerful when you do have those keyword level requirements that you know people are searching for, you know it's a popular term, you know what your best sellers are. So this is great. Is it a bit tough to manage because it's visual? Perhaps, and that's why you want to use it more of your laser focus than the general rule. But it is super powerful as a merchant. Again, large e-commerce store, maybe have brand managers, what's stopping them from doing their own brand and kind of focusing on this. And this is their responsibility, and they enrich it from here. Excellent. So those are from the top seller optimization. So really super powerful. It starts with what are your top sellers, getting that list. What we normally do, we have a spreadsheet. These are our top sellers. And then we find the best tactic for it. So is it manual boosting? Is it rule-based? Is it keyword level in terms of top selling boosting for that? And it's great because each kind of tactic will need a different strategy for us. Great. So let's get to the third one, 3 out of 4. Just to backtrack. So we covered your results, super powerful, super quick. We've covered top sellers, super powerful. Goes without saying, you want to optimize that often. And then the third one is campaigns. So when I mentioned in my intro, we need to change the idea of it's on-site search and away we go and we never touch it again. Like I mentioned, again, the definition of CRO, it is about making the customer journey better so the customer can find the right product quickly so they can go from visitor to customer and check out quickly. So the other tactic is campaigns. So when I say campaigns, it's about looking at, all right, you really have a checklist. So we're launching a new product or it's the festive season or it's Black Friday. We have a checklist. You know, is our paid advertising sorted? Is our social media campaign ready? Is our mailer ready? Is our landing page ready? Et cetera, et cetera. That's a checklist. So what I'm proposing, and which is a powerful tool, is you should add Klevu on-site search for that because it's another element on the page. People search. That's probably the first point that people will click on. And again, Klevu, the KMC portal, has some great features for that in terms of diving into that and giving you tools. So I already covered most of them. So you can imagine from a campaign point of view, let's say it's a certain brand that you're selling. Let's say it's a Black Friday or Christmas. You know, being Black Friday, a very particular type of campaign, people will naturally search Black Friday deals, promo deals, etc. So be prepared for that. And people are searching for it. So then you have some options. Some options is, again, you can use synonyms. You can use synonyms for that. For me, for kind of campaign-specific promos, I'd rather use real redirects because, again, you and your team have spent so much time on building this landing page, and it's probably a particular journey you want the customer to take. So I really like the feature of your redirects where you enter the search terms here and you take them to the landing page. Black Friday, classic example. People will search for Black Friday. And then rather than showing a list of products in the quick search, just direct them to the landing page, and then you have a crafted experience of Black Friday. But that can apply to anything. New brand launch, if you're a multi-brand retailer, or if you're a particular brand and you have a certain model release for that. So search is very powerful for that. You can take it a step further again with visual-based merchandising. Again, depending on the type of product, you can do very visual. Another visual aspect which I want to promote is, if I go to promotions again, there is banner management. So you're editing banners on the homepage and everywhere else. Banner management in Klevu is great. When people search for a particular term, if people search for a particular term, they get a specific banner. Brilliant. Then people know about the promotion and they can click on the banner and visit that landing page. Another powerful aspect of banner management is that it can be a slightly related / unrelated term. So again, it's just awareness that there's a campaign going on. A good example of a banner as well is maybe there's a site-wide promo, and maybe the customer is just going through the regular journey. They're searching for the normal products and not aware of it. This banner kind of appears in the search and people can click through it. It's a super powerful feature for that as well. So those are the 3 main tactics, 3 out of 4. Keywords and results, easy win there. Top sellers, great tools available for that. And I hope I've given you some insights to do that regularly and easily, so you don't stress about it. You can just get it done. And the third one is adding Klevu to the checklist when you do campaigns, and being a regular item that you do, just like you do social, landing pages, mailers, etc. Now, what is the last one? Well, the last one is continuous optimization. It's kind of doing all of this often and regularly. And it like, again, the definition of it is measuring your setting KPIs, measuring it, making a change, and coming back to it. So it goes without saying, doing this often. So maybe just for this slot, just to go again on what you can use from a KPI point of view. Now, again, back to the KMC dashboards, there's some great tools here. The one I really like is, for example, clicks and most sold products. So for example, clicks, some great insights here of combination of what is selling well, what is being clicked on, and what are people searching for. So some great insights there. And then you can use this now, once you've done your initial kind of CRO optimization, you can now use this often and go through this and kind of learn from it, of what people are searching for, what people are clicking on. Maybe in the retail world, this particular product is not a top seller, but for some reason on the site it is. So we can get more insights on that as well. However, the great KPI tool is GA itself, which I mentioned. I haven't got to it now, but now I'm back here. So some key KPIs that we can find, there is the general ones. So really engagement. So how many people are searching, how many unique searches are there, how long people appear on the search, how in depth they go, etc. Now, depending on your product and your catalog and your user journey, this could mean different things. A long dwell time is maybe expected. That's a good thing. A long dwell time for other retailers could be bad. But there is some key insights here and key KPIs. The idea is that you can do, for example, month on month or week on week. You can see, all right, the number of people have searched has increased or decreased. And I guess the general rule is you want to see more people searching than not, because a good number of people searching and a good people of converting is obviously then, oh, we're doing something well on search, all things considered. So at least the search is being used and people having good experience and they keep on using it. So those are some good metrics. Another cool, great metric is this metric here, which here helps a lot. Well, it loads. Is very simple metric. People who search versus people who don't search. And then together with this, that is tied back to e-commerce conversion rate as GA calculated, revenue and transactions. So it goes without saying, this is a great KPI. If you're looking for KPIs, you want to measure success or you want to set a base, I would suggest you go to this page, go to usage, and you get a good example of, yeah. And increase is the better. So you want to increase conversion rate, you want to increase revenue, you want to increase orders for people who search. And the ratio, you want more people searching than not searching. So if you, again, looking for somewhere to start with KPIs, you could spend a whole year looking at KPIs. I suggest jumping on this page, noting it down, tracking it, and being this point of success and showing how successful you can be. So great, that is my quick tactics. You can see it's very hands-on. I really hope it was hands-on. You're comfortable with it, you can jump into it. But yeah, that's kind of what we do. And again, kind of rinse and repeat. You need to measure, optimize, to see the results of this.
Thank you so much, Nick. That was so insightful. I loved how you were talking about the different ways to use the KMC. The campaign management was particularly interesting, I thought. In terms of like, how would you recommend that retailers test this stuff out? Is there like a certain kind of format that works? Say, for example, they weren't sure whether to do a redirect for a campaign or a product, a keyword level boosting, or something else. Like, how would you recommend them to figure out what works best for them?
Yeah, great. I think on that note, because it's A, you have so much traffic, people are searching, and B, because it's so instant, you can really do on the fly A/B testing. So I don't, nothing stopping you from using a professional tool, but I think that's a bit unnecessary. Right now, you can go in there, if you're not sure about something, change it for a day, see there's enough traffic, and then change it back the next day. And then just to measure that. So note down what you're changing, see the increase is. In this case, because it's quite short-term and instant, use a combination of GA and KMC. I think KMC will be a quicker result for you as GA processes its data a bit longer. And then I think that'll be the best in terms of first understand what you're actually changing. Are you changing certain terms or different, or you want more clicks? So exactly the whole goal is, what do you want to improve? Do you want lesser results? Do you want more conversion, etc.? And then do the change and then measure that. At this stage, without going into complex A and B testing tools, I think we have enough tools at hand, which I've showed you, to do kind of instant A/B testing.
I think that's really heartening. And I'd like to think that our listeners are going to find that too, because I know I scroll through LinkedIn and there's so many people who like say, oh, this person's doing CRO wrong, or this is how you should do it. And actually, you just need to get started. And thank you for showing us today kind of a quick way to get started with the tools that we've already got.
The quickfire guide, have your tools ready. In our world, it is KMC, Klevu Merchant Center, and Google Analytics. Once your tools are set up and you have access to it, there are 4 tactics. One is 0 results. You want to optimize that. Your goal is to have no 0 results and to constantly look at that and take care of that. The next one is top seller optimization. So get a list of your top sellers and optimize them. By optimize, I mean get this in front of the customer as quick as possible. There's various tools on the promotions to improve this, to what we call boosting. So that is tactic number 2. Number 3 is campaigns. Add Klevu on-site search on your checklist of campaigns. People are searching your site. That is the first and perhaps only interaction with the site. You want to use that. And again, there are some great tools under promotions, including banners, that you can use as for your regular campaigns. And number 4 is about continuous optimization. It is about measuring, it's about actioning it, it's about then measuring again, and just keeping going that cycle. And again, using those tools, KMC and Google Analytics, to get your KPIs, to do the changes, to measure, and again, and keep on going for it.
Thanks so much, Nick. I hope to have you back again sometime. And yeah, thank you very much for joining us today.
Great. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank
Absolute
you.
pleasure.